Good morning, everyone. Today's topic is social movements in Indonesia and Colombia. Let's begin. Indonesia Civil Society Budget Move. Why do we say that Indonesia has a movement? The emergence of Bajes organization in Indonesia occurred around the democratic reform division in the year 1998 when the popular movement led by students and no-governmental organizations ended the 13 years of the dictatorship by Sukarno. More than 100 organizations in Indonesia are considered by aged organization. On the other hand, we go back to the past and look at the issues that cause movements in Indonesia. Indonesia history has been influenced by foreign power that have to exploit its natural resources. Others, Muslim merchants brought Islam and during the age of discovery, European powers began to dispute the monopoly of the spade tree and the Malaccas after 3.5 centuries of Dutch colonialism. Indonesia gained its independence shortly after World War II. Since then, Indonesia's history has been turbulent, with the country faced with great challenges posed by natural disasters, corruption, separatism, the democratization process, and periods of economic change. Conclusion. Although the road to renewal in Indonesia is long, there is hope that the country will move forward. The critical awareness of the population and the existence of spaces for people to express their ideas are promising factors. The next election will be very important for the country. An effective economic strategy is needed to cure Indonesia's ills and prevent it from bankruptcy. This will the collaboration of all actors, including civil society, government, and the private sector. The people I hope that their politicians will have the will to put public concerns above their private interests. Colombia. 2021 national strain in Colombia, social unrest and times of pandemic. A new social outbreak in Colombia has made even more evident the distance between the government of President Iván Duque and the citizens. Last 28 of April, different social organizations, unions, and workers' centrals called a day of national strike against the tax reform that wins big progress in the Congress of the Republic. Despite multiple attempts by the authorities to prevent social mobilization under the argument that tested agglomeration would put at risk the capacity of the hospital system to attend the third and strongest spike of the COVID-19 pandemic, the National Unemployment Committee making the call preserving some biotic protocols. In this way, citizens to the streets and marks to join the demonstration in more than 500 municipalities and cities in the country. The hearings and banners that accompany the mobilization reflect that the insatiate popular discontent and dissatisfaction of Colombians with the management of the national government are greater than the fear of contagion. Therefore, no confinement measures managed to prevent social protests, neither could a controversial court order from the administrator of Cundinamarca so that local authorities suspend the permits to the organizers of the national strike until reaching herd immunity in the country with the vaccination against COVID-19. For many NLAs, this is in the precedent mobilization in the recent history of the country, not only due to magnitude and prolongation of social protests but also due to the exact response of the public for which of the tornado has claimed the lives of 40 victims of homicidal violence by the police, 548 victims of the physical violence, 10 victims of sexual violence, and 131 arbitrary arrests against the protesters. Well, folks, that was our topic for today. Until next time.